What is up, guys? I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're back with some more r/slash entitled parents. If you're new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too. And when you do hit that notification bell, don't forget to click always on it, otherwise YouTube won't inform you all the time I post a video. As always, a huge thank you to the members of our channel. It is truly appreciated. And let's get into today's stories. Much love, guys. Our first story comes from Thrikreen. Entitled Mum Treats Me Like an ATM. Backstory: allowed a friend of a friend who was down on her luck to room with me, edit for 2 years, so we did become close friends. As she needed to get away from her abusive ex/father of her son. In hindsight, the fact her boyfriend at the time would not spring for a place for her to move in with him should have been a red flag for me. There's a whole other story regarding both the father and the boyfriends, plural, that I won't get into right now. Fast forward a couple of years, stuff happened, lost my job, had to move back home, literally across the country, got rehired, still kept in contact with her, and since I could afford it, $100 every couple of months to help her out wasn't hurting my finances while she was down on her luck. She was back living with her mum and on government assistance for a while, so it was infrequent enough that it didn't bother me, but after a while, I was getting tired of her begging me to borrow some cash. Realised I never did tally the total amount and was shocked to find out it was over $12,000 over 8 years. So basically, gave her an ultimatum early last year. Essentially, I'm cutting you off at the end of this year, 2019. You have a year to get your act together. If you do, great. You don't need to rely on me anymore. If you still need help, then I'm just throwing money away into a black hole. I thought I was helping you get back on your feet, not letting you live off me. Whatever the case, come January 1st, I'm not responding to any requests for money, period. Things were cool the first half of the year, but then the latter half is when things went south. First, it was more frequent requests for money, like helping for the initial deposit for an apartment, as her new job didn't pay her yet, or groceries. Okay, critical life stuff I can accept, like she needed a cell phone plan to handle email and such for job hunting. But then it was requesting $500 in the span of 2 weeks in small chunks of 40 here, 80 there. Then one time, instead of asking, she just sent a money request from her bank as if it was an ATM and would just blindly send it along. And if I didn't respond right away, she'd spam my phone even though she knows I'd be busy working, in meetings or commuting. A portion of it is on the subway, so I'd be offline for about 30 minutes, but obviously, she can't wait that long. Cue the phrase we've seen in this sub for a lot of entitled parents. Failure to plan on your part does not constitute an emergency on mine. Then the parent parts. There were incidents like asking to pay for a kid's medication because his dad forgot to pack it for his visitation. Why should I be paying for this? Not my kid. Shouldn't you be asking his dad? No, I'm not giving you $80 for a bus ticket for your son to visit you. I know you miss him, but I don't see this as a critical expense. I'm sorry, but maybe you should try deferring the visit to later when you're more financially stable. I'm sure your 12-year-old son will understand. Then the kicker. This past Christmas, she saved enough to buy a Nintendo Switch. Not, saved up the money to handle surprise expenses or pay me back. Not that I expect it. But went immediately towards a very expensive gift for her son. The reason she was contacting me, however, was that her ex-boyfriend, not the one from before, I've lost count of which boyfriend, probably number 8 at this point, had serious entitlement, anger and mental issues, broke into her apartment, stole a bunch of stuff like the Switch and pawned it. Thankfully, the police were able to get him, and I believe he's in jail now. However, she stood out a present. But instead of getting a cheaper present or asking around other friends and family to pitch in, she contacts me first and asks for $200 to go towards the present. Obviously I declined. I think she eventually settled on a gaming keyboard and mouse for him. Naturally, she used the "ruined Christmas" line on me, which got me really pissed off. Her ex ruined it, not me. I don't really owe her anything. She's not entitled to my money, I'm not an ATM at her beck and call, and it's not like I'd ask for nudes or anything as compensation. Really, given what I know of her family, I'm staying very far away from all of them from now on. So far in 2020, she still tried to borrow money, but I've held true to not giving her anything. Also, never having roommates ever again, especially people with kids. Wow, cut her off immediately, that is crazy. $12,000. How does someone get to that point of lending that person that amount of money? Even $100 a month, I wouldn't even consider lending my friends that money. Maybe I'm just too stingy. Our next story is from Baked Potato. EF grounds GF because she started her period at church. Oh god, here we go. So this is my third story about my girlfriend's crazy ass father. It's sort of pretty screwed up. My girlfriend was at church and started her period during church. She started getting cramps and the wonderful such. Girlfriend turns to EF and tells him that she started her period and she asked her stepmom for feminine supplies. EF got up on her all about, why didn't you prepare and why didn't you have feminine supplies on you? EG said, well, it came earlier than I expected and wasn't prepared. Stepmom said she didn't have anything. They suggested that she should put toilet paper up there. They said they weren't going to leave because they were ushering. Girlfriend said, okay, I'll just sit and bleed. EF got furious and got everyone out to leave. EF proceeds to throw a temper tantrum and taking out his anger on her in the car. He grounded her for a month and continued to scream and yell at GF until she started crying. Oh, that was a short one, but that is a fucking idiots, man. How stupid do these people have to be to understand a period, man? I mean, come on. It's 2020 for God's sake. It winds me up when I get stories like these because it's just so stupid. This is the simplest stuff, man. If you're a parent, you need to learn this kind of thing. And shove tissue up there. The best reply, though, I really enjoyed was, I'll just sit here and bleed. Fair play. Our next story comes from Austin Deep Space. EM touches me because I look like a mum. I think this one belongs here. Happened a while back, but I did not really think about posting it here. But here we go. Background, I'm a curvy girl, or fat, or however you want to call it. My sister is very skinny, has a boyish figure, but she is a mum to 2 babies, 4 months old. Now, I'm not a confrontational person, and I don't really know what to say in situations like this. This one time, it was my turn to babysit for a bit, so I took the kids for a walk in a stroller, because it was sunny outside. I live in a quiet village, but people mostly don't know each other around here, and now, during COVID, everyone is wearing masks and socially distances, so you don't stop to chat around. It was afternoon as I was walking with a stroller, 2 sleeping babies inside. This lady was gardening their front garden as I passed by. Me, EM entitled mother. EM said, oh my god, are you a new mum? I do not realise I'm being spoken to, so I continue my way slowly. EM follows me for a bit and catches up to me. Hello? Wow, gorgeous, 2 babies, so cute. I just stopped to let her look from a safe distance, so I can now go on my way ASAP. Yeah, they're just 4 months old. She said, you look good having twins, do you work out? EM comes closer and reaches to touch my stomach. I pull away, but I can't let go of the stroller. No! EM gets closer, reaches out and grabs my boobs, fondling them. How I miss having these pregnancy tits. She laughs, winks, finally turns around and waves goodbye. EM says, it was nice meeting you, Becky. Not my name. At that point, I was just standing there, not being able to utter a word. After that, I quickly tried to gather myself and basically ran home. I'm angry at myself for not being able to say anything besides the initial no. But at that time I was just frozen, unable to do or say anything. I haven't told my parents and took a long shower once I got home, but at least she did not get close to the babies. Edits, thinking back at it, I guess she mistook me for someone else, or I don't know. I don't know her and her mental state, so I don't want to judge her on that. But nonetheless, being touchy with other people without their specific permission is and always will be a no-no. There's either got to be something mentally there. It doesn't say her age, or I was thinking maybe Alzheimer's or something that she mistook her for someone else because she mentioned the wrong name at the end or something like that. Because nobody just runs out and grabs someone's boobs and says that. What the hell? OP, if you do hear this, never be angry at yourself for something like that, because I think a lot of people would just freeze because it's just so unexpected. The shock of that, I don't think there's much you can do, well, apart from punch her in the face, but obviously people react differently, so there's nothing to be angry at yourself about that situation. Our next story is from Jamaican Me Scream. No, I won't move from my reserved seat. Your child is 23 and doesn't need to sit with you. So this isn't going down the entitled parent folklore, but it happened to me yesterday and I just needed to share it somewhere. This is a standard EM, EK and me tale. I was travelling on the train yesterday afternoon, back from seeing some friends. I was basically travelling the entire length of the route with a journey around 9 hours, going over 450 miles north, so a long time. I had a reserved seat for the whole journey, with the seat next to me switching from being reserved for some of the journey for an hour or two, then being vacant. At around hour 6 of my journey, the train was becoming very busy with families going home from day trips out. The next stop saw the person sitting next to me depart, and a woman who was looking and acting as if the group of scraggy students, like me, and families with little ones were far beneath her, got on with a woman who looked at my age, who were both looking around for a seat. The older woman, hereafter EM, saw the space next to me and made a beeline for it, with the other woman, EK, in tow. This is the conversation that followed. EM said, "Hi, I think you're in my daughter's seat." I said, "Oh really? I'm pretty sure the seat is reserved. Doesn't it say on the display?" The train I was on had an automatic display saying whether or not the seat was reserved. My seat said it was reserved from my departure station to my arrival, while the next seat next to me said it became reserved at the station about an hour away. EM said, "No, the screen's gone off. These are the seats for me and EK, now move." At this, I got on my seat to look at the screen, which said it was reserved, and quickly sat back down. I said, "Nope, it still says it's my seat. The seat next to me seems to be free for a while, if one of you wants to sit down." EK said, "Why can't you just move? We're probably travelling further than you anyway." I said, "Sorry, but I'm really not going to move." EM raising her voice to attract the attention of others. "I can't believe you won't have the dignity to let me sit next to my child. She can't just go and sit on her own." I said to EK, "How old are you?" EK said, 23, so probably older than you. You should really do what I say. I'm 21, and look it. I said, "Seriously? I won't move from my reserved seat. Your child is 23 and doesn't need to sit with you." I was feeling pretty petty, so raised my voice to mimic EM when saying this. EM said, "That's it, we're getting the staff. I won't be spoken to like this by a child." With that, they both left the carriage, and I didn't hear anything from a member of staff or anyone else. Though a lovely little old lady was sitting across from me said that she would probably have a sworn like a sailor at EM and EK if they spoken to her like that when they'd gone out of earshot. The icing on the cake was when the train stopped around half an hour later, so 2 stops after EM and EK got on. I saw them both getting off and walk up the platform. It took everything not to give them a little wave as they skulked past. Anyway guys, that is it for today's stories. I really hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, please consider hitting that like, as it truly helps this channel out. I say it every time, I know, but it really does. And leave a comment below for me to reply to, because I love listening to your comments and replying to them. It makes my day. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Much love, guys.